What is going on, everybody? I'm Max Squad. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing a speed test between the Moto G Power and the Galaxy A20. Stay tuned. Test. This happens to be the on-paper test, in which I talk about the internal specifications of each device to see which one is faster on paper, and then obviously whoever wins that is the winner of the first test. So let's go ahead and get that started. On the Moto G Power here on the left side, you can see that we got the Snapdragon 665 inside, which is clocked at 2.2 gigahertz or 2.02 gigahertz, and you also have the Adreno 610. The G Power also comes with 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. And out of the box, the device is going to be running Android 10 with security patch of February 1st, 2020. Now with the Samsung Galaxy A20 here on the right side, you can see that we're also running the octa-core chipset as well. We got 2 cores that are clocked at 1.8 gigahertz if you round it up, and the other 6 are clocked at 1.6 gigahertz. And the GPU for the A20 is going to be the Mali G71. And the Galaxy A20 is going to have 3 gigs of RAM along with 32 gigs of internal storage. And it's going to be running Android 9 with security patch of January 1st, 2020. So as you saw there with the on-paper test, the Galaxy A20 is not going to be able to compete with the Moto G Power here. Has a little bit more RAM, a little bit more storage, a little bit faster of a CPU. So obviously on paper, you got bigger numbers. The Moto G Power is going to take this first test. And so as of right now, the score is going to be 1 for the G Power and 0 for the Galaxy A20. Let's get to the next part. Now with the next part of my speed test here, what I'm going to be doing is the application opening and RAM management test. And so basically what that is just opening up applications that I decide to open up on each device. And afterwards, I test the RAM to see which device can hold the application better in the background. So enough of me talking, let's go ahead and get into it. The first application we're going to open up here is Play Store on both devices. So 3, 2, 1. That goes to the Galaxy A20. The next application we're going to open up here is YouTube. So 3, 2, 1. That goes to the Galaxy A20. The next application we're going to open up here is Amazon. So 3, 2, 1. That goes to the Moto G Power. The next application we're going to open up here is Best Buy. So 3, 2, 1. That goes to the Moto G Power. The next application I'm going to open up here is Facebook. 3, 2, 1. That goes to the Moto G Power. And the next application I'm going to open up here is Instagram. So 3, 2, 1. That goes to the Moto G Power. The next application I'm going to open up here is Twitter. So 3, 2, 1. It goes to the Moto G Power. And the next application we're going to open up here is Reddit. So 3, 2, 1. It goes to the Moto G Power. And the final application we're going to open up here is Spotify. So 3, 2, 1. It goes to the Moto G Power. So as you saw there with the app opening part of the speed test here, the Moto G Power did open up more applications than the Galaxy A20, so it clearly took that W there. Now we're on to the part of the test where we're going to be testing the RAM. So let's see which device can hold each application in the background. The first one is going to be Play Store, held by both. YouTube, held by both. Amazon, held by the G Power. Best Buy, held by both. Facebook, held by both. Instagram, held by both. Twitter, held by both. Reddit, held by both. And last but not least, Spotify, held by both. So as you saw there with the application opening and RAM management tests, the Moto G Power outperformed the Galaxy A20 and wasn't even close. I know the Galaxy A20 opened up one application faster than the Moto G Power, but that's pretty much where it ended. And then we went to the RAM management part of the test. That's when you saw the G Power show that it had an extra gig of RAM as well. The Galaxy A20 struggled on Amazon Prime as far as keeping it in the background, but everything else wasn't a problem. And so as of right now, the score has to be 2 for the Moto G Power and 0 for the Galaxy A20. Let's get to the next part. So with this next part of the speed test here, what we're going to be doing is looking at the Geekbench numbers and the A20 benchmark numbers. And so basically, what I'm going to do is just look at numbers from both devices as far as what numbers they produce, you know, scores that they got from each respective application, and determine a winner based on that. So as you can see, I got Geekbench 5 pulled up on both devices. And with the Moto G Power, we have a single core score of 311 and a multi-core score of 1,369. And with the Galaxy A20, we have a single core score of 271 and a multi-core score of 1,000 even. And so as of right now, the W for the Geekbench part of the test here will have to go to the G Power. Let's look at the A20 benchmark. All right, so now looking at the A20 benchmark here, you can see with the G Power, we got 166,325, which is more than 40,000, actually more than 45,000 more than the Galaxy A20, which has a score of 120,762. Now, when you look at these numbers here, you can tell that one is definitely obviously faster than the other. The G Power takes this W as well. So being that it took the Geekbench with no issues and it took the A20 benchmark with no issues, we have to give it to the Moto G Power. And so currently has a score of 3 and the Galaxy A20 has a score of 0. Now in a real world test, if someone or something that's in a competition wins 3 of those 5 different categories, automatically that thing or device, whatever, wins. But in this case here, for the sake of entertainment, we're gonna go ahead and continue to see if the Galaxy A20 will get shut out by the G Power. So without any further ado, let's get to that. So with this next part of the speed test here, what we're gonna be doing is installing 3 of the top applications here from the Play Store. We're gonna do the best 2 out of 3. And so basically what that means is whatever device installs 2 of the 3 applications faster than the other automatically wins this part of the test. And I already know what applications I'm going to be using. And so as you can see, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. The first application we're going to install is an application called Zoom Cloud Meetings. So we're going to get that started in 3, 2, 1. So let's see what happens. The Moto G Power is already off to a good start, but it looks like the Galaxy A20 may end up coming up behind it here. Let's see what happens. And that goes to the Galaxy A20. So a change of plans. We're actually going to install some different applications here. I guess what I'm going to do is go ahead and do Google Meet. Let's go ahead and get that in install here. So 3, 2, 1. All right, so the Galaxy A20 is off to a head start, and it's already installing. Oh, so is the G Power. Let's see what happens. And that goes to the Moto G Power. So in a rare term of events here, or a rare thing to see for me actually, one device installed the application faster than the other. Then it happened for the other device. So right now we have 1 to 1. Let's go ahead and pick this last application to see which device is going to take this W. And as of right now, we have an application called Google Classroom. So let's get that install here in 3, 2, 1. Who's going to take this W? I don't know. That goes to the Galaxy A20. So as you saw there with the application install test, the Galaxy A20 started off first with installing the application faster than the Moto G Power, and then the G Power came right back and did the same thing to the Galaxy A20. And so that left us at a tie of 1 to 1. But with the third and final application, which was, I believe, Google Classroom, the G Power was struggling a little bit there. And so the Galaxy A20 ended up taking it. So as of right now, we have a score of 3 for the Moto G Power and 1 for the Galaxy A20. Let's go ahead and get to the last part of the speed test video here to close everything out. So now we have here the final part of the speed test, in which I simply do a restart, or basically a power on and power off, to see which device can cut back on the fastest. And then after that, we'll see who wins and determine the winner. Let's go ahead and get that started in 3, 2, 1. Who I think is going to win? I don't know, but I do know for sure that the Moto G Power takes a long time to boot back on. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna speed this part of the video up. That goes to the Galaxy A20. Out of respect, we're gonna wait for the G Power to cut on. Let's see if the Galaxy, yep, it already went into the lock screen. Screen turned off already. Now we have the G Power. So as you saw there with the speed test between the Moto G Power and the Galaxy A20, when things first started out, you probably already knew on paper that the Galaxy A20 was not going to be able to compare to the Moto G Power. A 665 octa-core, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of internal storage versus an octa-core CPU that has 2 cores on different frequencies, 3 gigs of RAM. It's basically not as powerful as the Moto G Power here. So obviously that was going to go to the G Power. Then with the second test, you saw the application opening and RAM management test. You probably had an idea of who was going to win that one as well, but you could have probably guessed it was going to be pretty close, but it actually ended up being the opposite. And as far as the RAM part of the test, it only had issue with one application, while the G Power didn't have an issue with none of them. 2-0 started out pretty quick there. But then on the third part of the speed test, which is the Geekbench and the 2-2 benchmark scorings, you saw that the 665 was clearly the victor in this part of the speed test as well, because it's a more powerful CPU, and you have more RAM, a later version of Android, more internal storage. All those things matter, so obviously 3-0 very quickly. But when it came to the application install test, that's when things became a little bit more interesting. The Galaxy A20 ended up taking the first W, installing the application first, well, the first application that I installed on both devices, and then the second application ended up going to the Moto G Power. And so it was the first time in a long time where it went 1-1-1, and the G Power ended up losing that part of the speed test. The score quickly went from 3 to 1. But with the final part of the speed test here, the restart test, I knew for sure that the Galaxy A20 was going to take this W, because the G Power has a very long boot time. It's kind of actually weird with how fast it takes to power on. I'm not sure what exactly does that, but whatever. It ended up losing, so the score went from 3 to 1 to 3 to 2. So the Galaxy A20 had 2 and the G Power had 3. Who did you think was going to win the speed test here? Did you think it was going to be pretty close? Did you think it was going to be a blowout like I did for the second time in a row here? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, so you don't miss any more coverage with the Moto G Power. And be sure to give this video a like, because that does help the channel grow. And if you like the video, does it hurt you to hit the button? Right? Come on, do me that favor. Do me that solid. But please, Mac Squad, share this video with your friends and family. Let them know that not all Android cameras suck. It is just not true. But until then, my name is Max Rock. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day, y'all. Deuces. Deuces. Deuces.